and we are here again for this live session on YouTube. Let me see how many have joined. We'll begin the class in a moment. Yes, so today we are here for this wonderful session to discuss about. Okay, to start with, let's follow with our motto. Let's go with our motto. Let's crack it. So, Unacademy believes in making the learners so enriched with knowledge that they just crack all these sections of IELTS exam, whether it's listening, reading, writing, or speaking. So, we are here for this wonderful session, and you can ask your comments, you can discuss your doubts, any doubt which you have related to the tenses. And today we are going to focus on these kinds of tenses, the present perfect and present perfect continuous. Okay, let me just adjust the screen. Great. Okay. Fine. So let's crack it and let's begin with the session. Now, yesterday we had discussed simple present and present continuous tense. Today we are going to focus on present perfect and present continuous tense. Now, to start with this, one of my favorite activities, in number one, you imagine, even if you watch this video after, it's not live, you can just practice this activity and realize that how tenses are being used in every aspect of life. So, in first section, you write something which you do every day. In second section, you write or you draw something which you're doing right now. In the third section, you write or draw something you did in the past at an unspecified time. And in fourth, something you started in the past which continues until now. Okay, so you have these four options with you. So yesterday when we discussed about the first and the second. Something you do every day. Present simple or simple present tense. I brush my teeth every day. Something you're doing right now. I am speaking right now. I am teaching right now. You people are watching right now. And number three, something you did in the past at an unspecified time. Now let's look at those four pictures which I suppose I imagined. Okay, the first one, I eat my breakfast every day. I teaching right now. I have swum with sharks sometime, right? And I have been living in China for several years. Something which I started doing earlier, but I'm doing it till now. So these all four tenses are present tenses: simple present, present continuous, present perfect, and present perfect continuous. So if we understand tenses in context, if we realize that how we are going to use them, we will never fail to use them, right? Now, tenses and overview. Basically, there are 12 tenses in English. Three times are there: past, present, and future, and four aspects: simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. So it is important to know how and when to use the tenses. Okay. Now, if we look at this table and we focus on the perfect tenses, and I say, I have eaten all of the pizza. I had a lot of pizza, but I have eaten all the pizza. Something which I started doing earlier, but I finished it before I spoke. Okay? Or I have not eaten pizza. That would be negative form. And if I want to make it in a question, have I eaten pizza? That would be interrogative form. So let's elaborate on present perfect tense. Now, I'll come back to this slide. First, let's discuss some examples. How do we form present perfect tenses? If I say I have visited Paris, the negative will be I have not visited Paris. And the interrogative, the question will be, have I visited Paris? You have visited Paris. You have not visited Paris. Have you visited Paris? We have visited Paris. We have not visited Paris. Have I visited Paris? They have visited Paris. They have not visited Paris. Have they visited Paris? He has visited Paris. He has not visited Paris. Has he visited Paris? We used have as the helping verb when we are talking about present perfect tense. I have visited. So have is the helping verb which we use to form as part of the structure. We use it for present perfect tense. And have is used with I, you, we, and they. But for he and she and it, we use has. Now let's get back to the forms. Now the form for present perfect tense will be subject plus have or has plus past participle. Past participle also means the third form of the verb, right? So with the regular verbs, the past participle is ed. For example, I have worked with him. I have played with him. I have climbed the mountain with him, right? But in some cases, we have irregular verbs in which write does not become writed, it becomes written. Okay? So again, going on, what is the affirmative form? Subject plus have plus past participle. In negative, we add not after the have, which also becomes as have not. And the question, we pick up the helping verb from the middle, we put it in the beginning, and we write, have you eaten your breakfast? Eat, ate, eaten. So this is also one example of irregular verb. Write, wrote, written. Ride, rode, and ridden. Okay. Now, what are actually the uses of present perfect tenses? Where do we use them? It is used for finished actions or states that happen at an indefinite time. It refers to general experience without specific detail. She has eaten sushi. So we know she has eaten sometime in life. It is finished. That action has been done. What time she had eaten? We have no idea, right? So similarly, we are using it for referring to general experience without specific detail. Number two, just a second, please. Yes. Second, we are talking about completed past actions. Hi Tanu, I am sorry, my dear. There was some, I think, internet issue that I did not receive the messages, but I'm receiving them now. Hello, ma'am. How are you, ma'am? Tanu, I am doing very well. I'm great. I'm very happy to have you here in the live session. And I've just refreshed my phone, and I've got all those messages tuck, 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 tuck right away. Okay, so you can come up with your doubts, Tanu, if you have. Okay, great. Okay, so second action which we are talking about is completed past actions carried out in an unfinished time period at the time of speaking. I repeat, some actions which were unfinished. Okay, they were carried out, but the time period was not completed. Okay, for example, if I say till now, I have eaten 5 samosas, it means I might eat more. Suppose someone is eating something, someone is having chapati, someone is having lunch, and that time you enter and you ask, how many chapatis have you eaten? And says, I have eaten 3, but I want 2 more. So the time is not yet over, but the actions, some have been carried out, right? So for them, we are going to use present perfect tense. How do we say that? She has drunk 4 coffees this morning. They have been to the office twice today. They might go for the third time. You lost something in your wardrobe. I have searched for it 3 times. Does that mean the search is over? You might search for it again. Okay, so that becomes the usage of present perfect tense. Now, something which began in the past and is still true now. When you are speaking, so at the time of speaking, that is true. We don't know if this is likely to continue or not, but it is true at the time of speaking. For example, we have lived in Beijing for 6 years. I have lived in India for 12 years. So now when I'm speaking, it is true. But whether it will continue or not, that is not the point. The point is something which began in the past and is still true now. They have been a couple since 2012. It means they are still there together. They have not taken a divorce, right? I have worked in finance for almost a decade. It means I'm still working over there now. Okay? So when we describe past actions with present results, now the fourth use of present perfect tense is when we describe past actions with present results. For example, oh no, I have left my purse at home. So you are describing something which happened in the past, but the result is right now that you don't have money or you don't have your purse. So when we describe past actions with the present results, oh no, I have left my purse at home. I have left. Past action. What is the result? I don't have that purse right now. Can you help me? I have lost one of my contact lenses. So, an action which happened in the past, but as a result, I am not able to see right now, or I'm having some visibility issue. Okay? So, this is how we use present perfect tenses. We need to understand that action was completed or not completed in the past. I have eaten. I have not eaten. Okay? In any case, it has to be a perfect tense. Perfect, not in the sense that it was completed, but it happened in the past, but its repercussions are still there at the time of speaking. There is some result at the time of speaking. Now, these are some contractions which we come across. For example, I have becomes I've, you have becomes you've, we have becomes we've, they have becomes they've, he has he's, she has she's, it has it's. Hello Prithvi. Hi Prithvi. Great to have you here. Please ask your doubts, pour in your comments. Great. Fine. So when we are changing the long forms into contracted forms, we are actually using apostrophe in it, okay? Right? So this is how we also learn contractions, how to contract those long words which are there. Okay? Thank you, Prithvi, for that good comment. Thank you so much. Now, let's understand one very important and very basic difference between for and since. Now, for and since we use with present perfect tense, we also use with present perfect continuous tense. We'll study right now. But the basic difference between for and since is that for is used with periods of time. For example, for a week, its duration. For 6 months, its duration. But the moment we use since, we use it with a specific time. For example, since Monday, I have not seen him. I have not seen him since Monday. My parents have been living in India since 1984. I am giving exact point of time, okay? So for exact period of time, I am using for, but for exact point of time, I'm using since, right? Now, let's understand present perfect continuous tenses. Thank you so much, Prithvi, for these valuable comments. I appreciate, and I would also encourage you to ask questions, right? Now, when we are talking about present perfect continuous tense, let's have a quick look at these examples. Something which started in the past, but it's still continuing right now. The basic example, it started raining in the morning. It's still raining right now. So how will you say? It has been raining for 5 hours. Started in the past, but continuing till now. So, how do we say that? I have been studying. I started studying in the past, but now also I'm studying. The negative will be I have not been studying. And the interrogative would be have I been studying? You have been studying. You have not been studying. Have you been studying? We have been studying. We have not been studying. Have we been studying? So, this is how we create a positive, a negative, and interrogative question. Fine. But again, remember I, you, we, and they all have with it. But he, she, it has. One more addition is done when we are talking about present perfect continuous. We add one more helping verb, that's been. So now we have two auxiliaries. Auxiliaries or the helping verbs, they are have been. Okay, so something which is continuing, and then the main verb has ing. Let's understand the form. Affirmative, we have subject, we have the helping verb have, we have been, we have verb plus ing. So present perfect continuous. So you can understand that ways that continuous means ing will be there, okay? And since it's present, so we are talking about obviously something which started in the past but it's still continuing till now, right? And then we also have in it. So it means present perfect continuous. Okay? So where do we use present perfect continuous tenses? For describing an ongoing activity and the length of time that it has continued. I have been learning Spanish for 6 months. They have been caring for that six dogs since last Monday. And then you can also use present perfect continuous to describe a recently finished activity. some uninterrupted activity which has a present result. She's hungry because she's been dieting recently. Okay? So when you're talking about it, she's hungry, she's been dieting recently. So for that, we are using present perfect continuous. Now, some other examples will be we have been living in this street for 20 years. He has been working in the garden since morning. It has been raining since yesterday. Remember the usage of for and since along with these sentences. I have been using this laptop for 3 years. Its duration, so you're using for and not since. Okay? Now, I am taking an ongoing course on Unacademy, which is the capsule course on reading for the IELTS every day at 6. So, see you all today at 6 on Unacademy app. And today we are going to attempt the entire passage and do some different kinds of exercises which are there for IELTS exam. And then I'm launching a new course on 23rd December, 6 to 7:30, which is a course on essay writing, okay, which will be followed by an enriching doubt clearing session. So you can join me from today 6 to 7:30 on Unacademy every day. Till then, thank you. Bye bye.